And you're live. Oh shit, man, that is horrible. What a bad view that is. I wonder what that is. That because the camera, the lighting? What's going on here? It's terrible. All right, so let's see if I can get that to be a little better. Is that any better? Man, that is just bad camera. Sorry, YouTube. Camera sucks. Well, that's the way it works. I've got let's see if I can get this maybe better. Let's do this one. Wow, too bright. There we go. All right, a little better, maybe. A little better, slightly better. Whoa, so red. Man, I'm living on the red planet here. Well, it's better than nothing, right? It's better than being really, really, really bright. Bob Sunshine. Oh, hell yeah, I gotta invite Bob Sunshine. What the hell? We're gonna invite Bob Sunshine as a guest. Because Bob Sunshine, I mean that man. Invite Bob Sunshine. I want to invite Bob Sunshine. Invite Bob Sunshine. Invite Bob Sunshine. Shit. What is going on here? Bob Sunshine. No. Anyway, welcome to Randsanity. Sorry, it's I'm like living on the red planet here. Let's see if I can do this if this doesn't any better. It's just so bright. All right, I guess that's better-ish. Man, it's just so washed out look. It looks like crap. Sorry. Anyway, so what's going on? Everybody doing? Happy to see you. Welcome to Randsanity, episode 276. 276. That means this I've been doing this 276 days. T-minus, I don't know, 90, 89 days, 88 days to 365. Yes. So don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, watch, share, all that shenanigans, all the nonsense, all the bullshit, all the stuff. Like, subscribe, share, watch, follow. All right. So tonight we have rock and roll updates, mystery stories, all this stuff. The usual. We'll talk about things. Now, last night, apparently I spoke about Kelly Osbourne, and I must have said some things like, I don't know, I talked about her use of a drug that starts with an OZ and weight and everything else. And TikTok apparently said I was talking about hate speech. Like, shut me down. No gifts. No likes. No, I was like, what? And three times. So, I guess the idea that, and I was supposedly illegally soliciting for things like this was crazy. I have no idea what was going on. But yeah, I got all sorts of grief for just talking last night about, rock stars and their use of, the drug Ozempic. So apparently I get flagged for that. So I can't talk about that use anymore. So I won't be talking about that use of that drug on people because apparently people are really upset about that. TikTok did not like it whatsoever. They're very, very unhappy with my use of that. But that's what's going to happen. It's just what's going to happen. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? I am going to get talking about some stuff here in a minute or two. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about the stuff that's going on because, there's always music stuff going on. So there's some new music stuff going on. And, that is where we are going to talk. All right. So we're going to talk about the music stuff. And first off, let's go ahead and start with, now this one I was like, okay, if this is true, I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. Okay. But I would definitely go. Courtney Love, whole singer Courtney Love may have just teased a reunion tour with bassist Melissa Oftemauer. Okay. I mean, the last time Hole went on a proper tour was way back in 1999 when the band was out supporting their album Celebrity Skin, which I got to tell you, I love Celebrity Skin. Okay. I love it. I think it's a great band. I think it's a great album. If you don't like Celebrity Skin by Hole, that's okay. But I think it was written by Kurt Cobain, and I would see her play it again. I would. I mean, it is good. It really is good. So could we be getting a Courtney Love, Melissa Oppenheimer era whole reunion? I don't know. But that's what the band's founding frontwoman seems to have just teased over Instagram, which would be amazing. So yesterday, Courtney Love posted a short video clip of Oppenheimer posing in a couple of different outfits and showing off a ring. Notably, the iconic grunge bassist is doing a slow motion dance as Hole's 1998 song Malibu is playing in the background, which I listened to that song tonight, so it has to be. Okay? In her caption on the post, Love asks, so do we tell the kids about the tour? Oppenheimer replied in the comments, it starts with eternal love. I don't know about you, but this has me hopeful about a new Hole tour, even though it's just speculation right now. I mean, I saw her in 1999, and I thought it was great. That's just me, okay? Oppenheimer first joined Hole back in 1994, following the recording of the band's second album, Live Through This. She later played for the band's acclaimed third album, Celebrity Skin, in 1998. She would later join the Smashing Pumpkins, but briefly rejoined Hole around 2012. Love and Oppenheimer seem to have mostly had a smooth relationship over the years. We had the bass player once calling Love a once-in-a-generation piece of art. Not a piece of work. A piece of art, which is different. Speaking to Blast Echo in 2016, Oppenheimer reflected on the idea of a second Hole reunion, saying, I don't do anything for money. I mean, come on. And you play for free. Anyway, I don't do anything for money. When I imagine us playing outdoors sometimes, it's like beer-soaked 20-year-olds who don't even know Hole or listen to records that doesn't seem healing or celebratory. Sure. She then went on to praise the band's seminal work and specifically the creativity of Love. Those three albums, Pretty on the Inside, Live Through This, and Celebrity Skin, are all unique and incredible. Courtney Love is a once-in-a-generation piece of art. She is a fucking incredible masterpiece. Is it her? I don't care. And yes, her drama sometimes overshadows the power of the band. It's true. Courtney Love has drama. If you've ever followed her career, Courtney Love is a drama mama. She is like Britney Spears incarnate and then some. All right? There is no good or bad days with Courtney Love. They're all just days. Okay? Oppenheimer continued, at the time, the power of the band and the arc of the albums and performing abilities, we have it all on tape everywhere. We have proof of it. And I would love to have it in one place. I support that story, and I would happily put an incredible archival package, the bassist concluded. But that doesn't mean playing 1,000 fucking festivals for money. If you want to talk about the archives, you want to talk about the brilliant past, then I'll have a conversation. Okay, so Courtney Love, are you going to tour? Because I will go. I will talk about it because I'm excited for it. Whether you wrote the stuff or not, I don't know. You would. Did Kurt write those songs? I don't know. But they were made for you. You scream them out. And again, I was talking about songs that fit Courtney Love's genre, like Surfbot, which I've been talking about, which is great. Jessica's Changed. Listen to it. It's funny. I've already said it to a couple of people like, if you were in a rock band, this would be you. So, worth a try. Now, talking of festivals, guess what I found? Dun, 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 dun. Ocean's Calling. Okay? This is another epic summer show. It happens in Ocean City, Maryland, September 25th through the 27th. So this is the week after See Here Now in Asbury Park, New Jersey. So I've been looking at it going, who's playing? Because they have not announced yet and won't for about a week or two, See Here Now. So this one, Friday night, Dave Matthews Band, Hootie and the Blowfish, Ludacris, OAR, Yellow Card, Shaggy, Liz Phair, Everlast, Gavin DeGraw, Better Than Ezra, Sons of Legion, Katie Tunstall, Swayze, King Stingray, and Link Emoja, which we've seen some of these bands at some of these other festivals already. So it's starting to get telling because Saturday night, 21 Pilots and Gwen Stefani. Goo Goo Dolls, Third Eye Blind, All Time Low, 311, Violent Femme, Dashboard Confessionals, Corny Bailey Ray, Everclear, Dishwalla, Goldford, and Cassandra Coleman. Solid second night. Sunday night, Mumford & Sons, Matchbox 20, Camp, My Morning Jacket, The Head and the Heart, Hanson, Jet, OK Go, Susanna, Hoffs, Corey Wong, Fastball, Nate Myers, and special guest set by OAR and friends. Solid Sunday night. So now if this is any indication of what we can expect to have at See Here Now in New Jersey coming the week before September 19th, 20, and 21, I may have to stay on the East Coast for 2 weeks. Go ahead and go to See Here Now and then jump right down to Maryland and catch this set, because that would be 2 amazing weekends in a row. Just solid bands. I don't know what kind of crossover we're going to have, but we're seeing 21 Pilots at a bunch of festivals, and being the week after, just down the road, may be an indicator that this is going to be where we're going to see them again. Dave Matthews Band, 21 Pilots, Mumford & Sons. Solid headline lineups. East Coast summer shows. I'm feeling the love here. I'm feeling the love. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the lineup is for New Jersey and Asbury Park the week before, because that's going to be a lot of these artists that I'm thinking that are on this tour. Some, at least because they're so close, they may go do some one-offs in between, but they're going to be out of the clause for radius, meaning that they'll be able to play because they're not too close. There's typically a radius clause on bands and concerts and festivals where the promoter is going to say you can't play within 1,000 miles within 90 days or 120 days or whatever. And that's standard industry practice. It prevents bands from announcing a show and then hurting another promoter that's within the vicinity. So the radius clause would not apply to this because it's definitely far enough away that this should work, because they couldn't cut out all these bands. So let's see. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what's going on. All right. Don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, share, watch, and like, follow, subscribe, share, watch. Oh, that's it. 5. Like, share, subscribe, that. Yes, all those things. But yeah, so this would be amazing. This is a solid lineup for a festival. Tickets go on sale. Pre-sales tomorrow, the 5th at 10 a.m. Public on sale follows at 11 a.m. If tickets remain, it says. If tickets remain. Okay? I mean, this is crazy. Sign up for pre-sale, guaranteed lowest ticket price, GA, and one day tickets for 1 hour. Okay? Guaranteed lowest price, GA, and 1 day tickets for 1 hour. Pre-sale Thursday, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Public on sale to follow at 11 a.m. if tickets remain. So, if you're a fan, then my advice is buy the tickets. You can always sell them. That's the beauty of these days. Yes, StubHub sucks and blah, blah, blah. Ticketmaster sucks. I know. But with the absolute ability for us to buy tickets in other places, you can buy them, you can sell them, and you'll not lose money. I mean, this is money in the bank, okay? Especially when a show like this is going to sell out really, really fast. Just saying. So I probably will buy a pair of tickets just because. Why the hell not? And if I don't go, I'll sell them. If I do go, I'll enjoy it. So do that. All right. While I was searching for other tours, I saw there was another tour that might be happening that I was like, oh, okay. Built to Spill just announced a 26 tour this summer, including shows with Courtney Barnett, Bright Eyes, and The Hold Steady, which is, again, solid. Seminole indie rock outfit Built to Spill just announced a slate of spring and summer tours. The outing, humbly billed by the band as Summer Dates, kicks off May 2nd in Burlington, Vermont. Other stops include Minneapolis, Charleston, Milwaukee, Washington, D.C., Salt Lake City, which is their final stop on the tour on September 1st. So that's either a long-ass tour or they're going to take some breaks in between. But anyway, dates of the particular note include a 3-night run in San Francisco's Chapel, a night at the Hollywood Palladium with Courtney Barnett, and Forest Hill Stadium in New York with Bright Eyes. Treeford Festival is also included in the itinerary, as well as Oregon's Pickathon and Montana's Zootown Music Festival. Lily Seaber, The Hippos, Wussy, Gorilla Toes, and Play Dead will be in support slot on select dates. The full tour, I'm going to go ahead and just scream it out to you. We're going to start in Boise, Idaho on 3/25, which is just a one-off for a music festival. But then they're going to actually start the real touring on May the 2nd. Burlington, Vermont, Asheville, North Carolina, Athens, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Charlotte, Atlanta, Birmingham, St. Louis, Iowa, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, DC, Pittsburgh, Asbury Park, Asbury Lanes on 6/3. So I will not be seeing them at See Here and Now because they will not be there. Bethlehem, PA, Wilmington. Then they're going to play Forest Hills, Chicago, Missoula, and Happy Valley. Then they're going out west, South Lake in Tahoe, Petula, San Francisco 3 nights, Santa Cruz, Ventura, Salina, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake City. So again, crossing the entire country. So if you're a Built to Spill fan, you can see the show. It's not going to be that far away from you, no matter where you live. Tickets go on sale on Friday, March the 6th at 10 a.m. local via Ticketmaster. So if you want to get your tickets for Built to Spill, Friday is your day to get your Built to Spill tickets. Okay, so that would be another out fucking standing summer show to go see. All right, it doesn't stop. We have more stuff to talk about. One of the things we talk about is, hold on, I got to get to it because it's moved on my notes here. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so I've got this one. Now, this is something that I just was like, yeah, you know, these are some songs that we're getting antsy because I keep talking about these summer tours. So here are 4 indie rock songs guaranteed to give you spring fever if you don't already have it. I don't know where you live. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Right now I'm sitting in New York. I see the little snowdrops poking up their little heads in the grass, and I'm like, yay. There's still snow on the ground, a lot of it. It's raining in Columbus like cats and dogs, supposed to get 2 fucking inches of rain. So I'm sure the city will float away and all hell will break loose. The end of the world, rain, snow. But it's March, okay? What is it? In like a lion, out like a lamb, you know? Summer flowers need March rain, something like that. So I'm good. St. Patrick's Day literally is happening in like 13 days, under 2 weeks of St. Patrick's Day, which is when I officially say summer begins. I have always said that. Summer begins St. Patrick's Day, and it ends Thanksgiving. That is summer. It goes the entire length and breadth of warm to cold. So spring is already sung in some places, but if you're still stuck in the 6 more weeks of winter places here, with a big rodent predicted last month, damn you, rodent. These indie rocks tunes should definitely help some springtime mindset. So you can jump ahead. We've got you covered a little bit. All right. So a song, Sunflower, Steve Lacy by Vampire Weekend. Okay. I mean, it was featured on Vampire Weekend's 2019 album, Father of the Bride. To hear fans tell it, it was their most springtime album ever. With previous albums, Cortana feels more like summer. Modern Vampires of the City leaning winter, and their self-titled debut is an autumn. Sunflower, however, sorry, my notes are jumping, specifically has a distinct air of spring as it takes a jaunt through prog-like scales and guitar licks. The synchronized scaling creates a whimsical break, but the lyrics aren't anything too complicated. The lyrically simplicity is backed by intricate instruments, but overall, it's as easy vibes as it gets to chill in summertime in the city. Okay? Next is Apple Blossom by the White Stripes. Apple Blossom appeared on the White Stripes' 2000 album, Day Still, and captures the duo's blues rock style with a jangly instrumental break. As far as spring vibes go, though, the title, of course, calls to mind blooming trees and new growth. Lyrically, it captures the potential of blossoming new love. Come and sit with me and talk a while. Let me see your pretty little smile. Put your troubles in a little pile, and I will sort them out for you. The music video is a bit more narratively dramatic, but the last lines add another layer of sweetness. I'll fall in love with you. I think I'll marry you. 9 in the Afternoon by Panic at the Disco's next. Now, similar to Vampire Weekend's album, Panic at the Disco's second album, Pretty Odd, has an overall summertime vibe, pretty much there, okay? One could argue it also tends toward autumn at times, but as the resident early years Panic at the Disco scholars, a non-textile that I give to others, I feel confident saying, actually, no, it doesn't. 9 in the Afternoon is particularly as a smorgasbord of springtime delights, musically, lyrically, and visually. The psychedelic colors of the music video, album cover overrun with flowers, vintage imagery, and nonsensical lyrics all come together in this explosion of spring. 9 in the Afternoon heralds the start of a new season, shaking up winter's chill and leaping headfirst into a warmer weather and climate. And if anything, as the album progresses, it represents the slow crawl towards autumn. But we got spring, so deal with that. Lastly, we've got Electric Flower by Miles Kane. Electric Flower appeared on Miles' 2025 album, Sunlight in the Shadows. And here they take a more psych rock approach than in his past albums. It's got a groovy, chill vibe, representative of being at the height of springtime. Electric Flower is the sound of mid-April when the days are getting warmer, but not yet unbearable. That sort of San Francisco temperature all year long. The nights are still pleasantly cool, and the daytimes warm up nice. At this point in the season, staying inside is a criminal waste. You got to get out. You got to get the sun, that vitamin D, that all-important rays to get the skin from looking like, I don't know, you spent an entire winter sitting inside. But now it's time to go out, parking line in the grass, staring at those pristine clouds in the sky, and maybe even falling asleep as a breeze wafts over you. Just don't do it where birds are flying over and pooping on you. If you have allergies, maybe put Electric Flower on the stereo and crank the volume. That'll be enough. That way the sneezing won't be heard. So there you go. So there's some summer springtime songs. Electric Flower, Miles Kane. 9 in the Afternoon by Panic at the Disco. Apple Blossom by the White Stripes. And of course, you can't hate this one, Sunflower, featuring Steve Lacy by Vampire Weekend. I listened to all of those today because I was like, I want some spring. It's so fucking gray. I'm in New York City and I'm like, it's gray. I don't want gray New York City. I came from gray in Columbus, Ohio. I came to New York to be not in the gray. And it's gray. So give me springtime. Don't forget to like, follow, watch, subscribe, share. And not share like the musician, because I'm going to talk about Sonny and Cher's progeny in a few minutes, because that's on births and deaths today. All right, so fun summertime songs. Like, follow, subscribe, watch, share, all that stuff. All right, let's see. We did that one. Rock songs, Built to Spill. Hole, Courtney Love, yes! I could read that entire story just because it makes me happy, because I really want to see a Courtney Love, Melissa Oftemauer reunion tour. I was there. I stood front row when we saw Courtney play at the Newport Music Hall, right there, screeching away. Courtney! I would go see Courtney again, for sure. All right. Happened on this day. What happened on this day musically in history? Well, the Beach Boys released Surfin' USA, a song with the lyrics by Brian Wilson, set to the music by Sweet Little 16 by Chuck Berry. Billboard ranked Surfin' USA the #1 song of 1963. Surfin' USA. Outstanding song, okay? You gotta love that's quintessential Beach Boys right there. Now, talk about things that you probably shouldn't do, all right? Today's the day. Now, this made everybody crazy. Today's this day the 4th of March in 1966 that John Lennon made the statement that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus Christ. It was actually when published in the London Evening Standard, his opinion drew no controversy. None in London, none in England, none in the UK. Didn't matter. They were like, whatever, man. He's just talking. He's just a fucking Beatle. But a few months later, when it was published in the United States, angry reactions flared up in Christian communities. Extensive protests broke out, with some radio stations banning the Beatles songs altogether, and the records were publicly burned. Publicly burned. Burn piles. Bring your Beatles albums and burn them. He said he's bigger than Jesus. Don't say you're bigger than Jesus. Just say it. It may not go well for you. In 1967, the Rolling Stones went to number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with Ruby Tuesday. The group's 4th U.S. number 1, Let's Spend the Night Together, was the original A-side, but after radio stations banned the song, Tuesday became the A-side. Again, radio stations, what are you doing? Now, see, the thing is, the beauty is this, that I was talking about it earlier, that when because it goes back to Courtney Love, so this makes perfect sense. So when Kurt Cobain died, we banned Courtney Love whole from being played on the radio station, and probably didn't play her for decades. I mean, at all, because it was sort of just, it was the protest. She killed Kurt. I did go to see the concert. Like I said, I was like, yeah, that's a personal thing. I didn't make the station not play Courtney Love because of that. And I did go see the show because I was like, fuck, I'm a fan. I'm going to go see the damn band. I'm going to go meet Courtney and be like, love you. But the thing is that, I don't think it is, and this is my personal take on it, as working at the radio station industry for so long, I never thought that it was our position to take sides politically or sort of spiritually when it came to things like this, that the freedom of the press, free speech, should be sort of, unilateral, that if we chose not to take advertising, advertising something different, we don't take advertising from strip clubs, for instance. Not because that we're going to be puritanical, but it's polarizing, okay? You can have so many people that are for it and so many people that are against it that there's no reason to do that, okay? You don't need to you don't need to polarize your audience. You want to welcome your audience. Friends, come join us, come listen. So you don't want to polarize them. But again, you have to do that if you're going to be someone that wants to make political statements when it comes to banning the Rolling Stones for Ruby Tuesday, banning the Beatles because he makes an offhand comment saying that he's bigger than Jesus. That's my personal take on it. You don't like it? Fuck off. If you do like it, that's even better because I like you better now. 1974, the band ABBA released Waterloo, the first single from their second album and the first single to be credited to the group performing under the name ABBA. It later became the winning entry for the Sweden in the 1974 Eurovision Song Contest and hit number 1 in several countries. It reached the U.S. top 10 and went on to sell nearly 6 million copies, made it one of the best-selling singles in history. Well, yeah, it's fucking ABBA. Again, country music, not so much. ABBA, sure. Just like the Bee Gees, sure. I can listen to all that stuff all day long. Okay? 1978, Jerry Lee Lewis had the Internal Revenue Service do a pre-dawn raid on his home and removed cars worth over $170,000 to pay off his tax debt. What? You can't just, hey, yo, you owe us a lot of money, we're taking your cars. Peace out. Okay. Maybe they should have taken this car, because in 1979, Randy Jackson, the Jackson 5, was seriously injured in a car crash, breaking both his legs and almost dying in the emergency room when a nurse inadvertently injects him with methadone. Hello, lawsuit. You inadvertently injected me with methadone. I'm suing you. Randy Jackson, probably not great that happened. Let's see this one. We'll jump that one because I don't need to. We're not going to talk about that one because they'll ban me again. All right, because I'm talking about self-harm. I didn't do it. I'm not encouraging it. I'm just telling you that this artist did that. Let's see. 1993, on this day, Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown became parents when Whitney gave birth to a baby girl, Bobby Christina Houston Brown. Bobby went on to become a reality television and media personality, singer, and actress. Brown died in hospice care on July 26, 2015, at the age of 22, after being found face down in a bathtub in her Georgia home. She was later placed in a medically induced coma. Good. Yeah, I read that on. I was like, yikes. Now, speaking of Kurt Cobain, because there's always connections to Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. Anytime there's one, there's got to be another. So in 1994, Kurt Cobain was rushed to a hospital after overdosing on alcohol and drugs in a Rome hotel during Nirvana's European tour. Cobain had taken 50 to 60 Rohypnols mixed with champagne. Rumors on the internet claimed that Kurt was dead. He was not, at least not yet. He wasn't dead yet. Okay? That's all I'm telling you. In 2001, Village People singer Glenn Hughes died of lung cancer at the age of 50 in his Manhattan apartment in New York City. He was the original biker character in the disco group who scored the 1978 UK #1 and US #2 single YMCA, which is one of the best-selling singles of all time. Well, yeah, it's YMCA. I mean, come on, you have all sorts of people who want to use it, and they're like, you cannot do that. Just saying. Now, this one is where I was like, I got to draw the line. Like, how is this possible? In 2003, a noisy neighbor was banned from playing her music and had her stereo impounded after she played Cliff Richard music too loudly. A 23-year-old Cyan Davies was fined $1,700 plus court costs after environmental protection officers raided her home in Porth Rondon, Wales, and seized 15 amps and speakers plus 135 CDs and cassette tapes. The disc found in her CD player was the Cliff Richard single, Peace in Our Time. I listened to that. You don't need to turn it up that loud, ever. A spokesman for the Cliff Richard organization said he was delighted to hear of somebody in their early 20s owning one of his recordings. He added, Cliff would not want anyone to play his music so that it caused a nuisance. But again, how do you... Okay, turn the music down. Fuck off. Okay, I'm going to write you a ticket, but you can't impound my stuff. How do you impound someone's musical stuff? They're stereo and things. I don't know. England, you're always weird. Just saying. I'm like, what? Never find that stuff interesting. Britney! 2009, Britney Spears kicked off a world tour in New Orleans, her first concert for 5 years. The then 27-year-old, dressed as a ringmaster in the show, featured jugglers, acrobats, and martial arts dancers. Oh, Britney, you're so crazy. You're so crazy with yourself. Now, this is good news. I'm happy. This makes me so happy. 2012, according to Nielsen SoundScan in the U.S., vinyl sales increased 36% in 2011 compared to the previous year, concluding that vinyl records are making a big comeback for music fans. Buy your music. Don't rent it, okay? You can record it and listen to it. If you don't, then you don't own it. Your playlists are subject to stop paying money and you don't get it anymore. It doesn't make sense to me. Don't rent your music. This one's perfect. Daryl Hall and John Oates were suing cereal maker Early Bird Foods and Company over the company's use of their name, Haulin, like Haulin, Oats, for their maple syrup granola bars. The team of musicians accused the Brooklyn-based firm of infringing on their trademark with the packet of cereal deliberately and creating a phonetically play on the band's well-known name, Hall & Oates. I mean, yeah, kind of is, Hall and Oates, Hall and Oates. I'm saying yes. Yes, that works. 2019, singer Keith Flint and dancer with the English electronic group The Prodigy was found dead in his home in Essex, England, at the age of 49. The Prodigy scored the 1996 UK #1 and #30 single Firestarter, and in 1997 UK and US #1 album The Fat of the Land. He owned a motorcycle race team, Traction Control, which won 3 Isle of Man TT races, and in 2015 completed in the British Supersport Championship running Yamaha YZF R6 motorcycles. Now that one I was not happy. Keith Flint, The Prodigy was a really good band. I saw they're playing. One of the festivals they announced, it says The Prodigy. But again, is it really The Prodigy when Keith Flint was kind of the band? That's what I wonder. When it's if it's like the lead singer and it's like your main act, is it really the show anymore? You tell me. I question that sometimes. I just do. Because it just seems like, is that really the way you want to be? I don't know. Anyway, all right. So, who was born on this day? Now, if you've ever been to Lollapalooza, okay, that happens in Chicago every summer. Before the show starts, when it's empty, the field is empty, the 100,000 people haven't been there, the doors aren't open, people are waiting outside, the bands have practiced, everyone's sort of set to go, everyone's off the field and it's just empty. As loud as you can imagine on all of the stereo, everywhere, they blare Star Wars. Dun, 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 dun. That's how they kick off their day. Now, for years, I would kick off the day with The Four Seasons by Vivaldi because it's just that awesome. Dun, 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 dun. So anytime I would do festivals or fairs or stuff where we were going to be in a big event and I had the truck there, we busted out the radio station sound. I would crank 500 watts up and blare Four Seasons by Vivaldi. And today is his birthday. Vivaldi, born on this day in, I don't even know what the hell it was, but he would be 348 years old today. He died in 1741. So if you ever need classical music or something, listen to the Vivaldi Four Seasons. It is. All right, Jason Newsted, Metallica, 63 today, not 348. Richard Hands of the Sundays, 60. Evan Dando of the Lemonheads, 60 or 55. Oh, no, he's also 59. I can't read my own damn writing. Now, Evan Dando ranks as one of the all-time, besides, I'm trying to think how many times Evan's been to the station. He's been there enough that I think he's not into the double digits, but he's really close to being one of the most visited artists to the radio station, Evan Dando. I think it's like 6 or 7 times. Anyway, Fergal Lawler of the Cranberries, 55 today. Jerry Green of Modest Mouse would have been 49 today. Fortunately, died in 22. Cameron Winter of Geese, 24. Catherine O'Hara, actress Catherine O'Hara, would have been 72 today. Unfortunately, she died this year on January the 30th. Chaz Bono of Sonny and Cher, Chaz Bono, 57. And Patrick Roach, who's basically Randy from Trailer Park Boys, is 57. Now, Randy actually was in the radio station. I have some funny pictures with Randy. We chowed down a bunch of hamburgers at a crazy, crazy show. I think I was the skinniest guy there. There was all these giant beer bellies, and I was just like, hey, no, I don't have one. I'm sorry, I'm like svelte. Like, yeah, not me. I'm not big and fat like that, but hey, Randy was there. So, that was a beautiful thing. All right, who did he lose today? Let's see. King Kong Bundy of the WWF died at the age of 61 and 19. John Candy. Oh, actor John Candy died on this day at the age of 43 in 1994. He was such a good actor. John Candy was so funny in his movies. Plane, Trains, and Automobiles is also one of those movies. Like, if it's on, if I see it, any part, I'll pop on and watch it because it's just hilarious. Steve Martin and John Candy interact so well in that movie. It's just such a funny movie. It really is. Luke Perry died on this day, March the 4th, 2019, at the age of 52. Luke Perry, 90120. Luke Perry, I can't believe Luke died. Oh, man. And I said, Glenn Hughes of the Village People died at the age of 50 in 2001. John McGock of Susie and the Banshees died at the age of 48 on this day in 2004. And Keith Flint of Prodigy at the age of 49 died in 2019 on this day. The only other thing is that on this day in 1922, the original movie Nosferatu was released. And actually, it was not released with permission from Bram Stoker because it was based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, and he did not give them permission to release Nosferatu. So it was sort of the whatever you want to call it, unauthorized biographical release of the book in a movie version, Nosferatu, which is a crazy-ass movie, just so you know. There's some crazy-ass old movies, like you catch them late night on TV, like what the hell, man? So there you go. There you have it. That is the news, all the news that's worth printing. See, the one thing that's interesting by using the phone, I don't have my camera set up, so it doesn't turn off at 20 minutes. What can I say? It's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. I just know that that's what it is. So, all right, YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and kick you out. Thank you so much. Love you, mean it. See you soon, friends. Tomorrow I'll do this all again, but totally different. I should be back from the city by then. Be well. Fade to black.